Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Beautiful morning here in the Northern Rivers of New South Wales. My name is Debbie Carberry. I am your relationship coach, and today is the very last day of our Heartbreak to Healing workshop series. So far in this series, we have done our first video, which was in relation to, okay, when are we going to be ready? What's it going to take for us to begin the process, but actually being actively participating in changing from heartbreak to healing? In session 2, we talked about, okay, we need to really move away from this belief that somebody's going to come and rescue us, and we're going to have to start understanding that it's going to be our job to help ourselves get to a place and space where we feel like we are more empowered and we have what it takes to do the work ourselves. A big shift, really, for some of us. So we're going to rescue ourselves. We did the main workshop, and the main workshop was really about understanding the things that are in the way, the roadblocks that stop us from being able to follow through and be proactive in moving from heartbreak to healing. Today is our final day, and today I really want to talk to you about why you're still stuck, why you feel like the heartbreak is not moving for you, why you feel like there's no way you can move forward. And I want to talk about what that's about and why many women feel like they are helpless and hopeless oftentimes in the process of healing after a heartbreak. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So women, I put a post in the group yesterday, and women said, this is why I'm still stuck. And I thought, you know what, these are really important things to comment on. These are important things for me to try and help you understand why, hey, you're feeling completely stuck. There's a reason for that, right? And part of what happens is we will tell ourselves the story that I'm actually stuck because I'm broken or because I'm failing. I can't do this. It's too hard. That isn't accurate. What is accurate is that nobody has actually taught us how to heal from this. We learned to drive a car, we learned to possibly use a computer, we learned how to parent, we learned how to do our job. Somebody taught us how to do that. We were never actively taught how to heal. It was passed on to us like a baton in a race. Our parents, our caregivers, they did stuff, we watched them and went, that must be the way you do it. So we didn't get a roadmap. We didn't get a roadmap for what you need to do when a long-term relationship ends. And so many of us are flailing, trying to work it out. It's not just that the relationship ends. It's around more than that. It's about your identity. It's about the future. It's about the sense of safety that perhaps you have being just torn away from you. A whole lifetime for some of you, 20, 30 years of being in a relationship with one person, and that vanishes overnight, setting your nervous system into absolute overload. For those of you who don't know, I am a trained therapist. I did extensive university training, and I've continued my training across the years. I've been doing this for 2 decades now. And what I know is our nervous system plays a big part in how we cope with these huge things that come up for us. Our brain tries to make sense of the chaos that is going on. And our felt experience is, I feel really weak. I don't feel good enough. I don't feel like I can cope. I'm really hurt, but I actually don't know what to do about it. If you feel like that, let me know in the comments. And here's the thing. The first thing that is really important is knowing what it is. For some of us, we have no clue. We have no awareness of what is going on, just that it feels like garbage and we want it to stop. So when I ask people, 0 to 10, how does that feel? It's to help you understand, hey, this is where I'm at in this moment. If you don't know that, it's hard to know what to do next. So where are you right now? Are you completely stuck? I want to walk you through exactly why you get stuck. I want to take you through a couple of common scenarios that you have all shared with me. About the emotional limbo you get back in, about going back out there, about this really overwhelming sense of abandonment that comes over you. I want to show you how these things keep you going around and round in circles with your pain. I want you to understand that there are things that we do in this process that actually keep us in the hurt space and actually sometimes increase the level of hurt we're feeling. And I want you to understand that there are ways of exiting that and beginning a different process. I want to share with you what healing looks like so that you can actually go, actually, no, I'm moving forward, I'm healing. I want you to understand how you begin to let go of things and what it takes to actually move it forward. And if you want to, and if you're willing to do the work, I promise you, you can move from heartbreak to healing. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up or a wee love heart to let me know that you're here and say good morning to me. That always helps when I'm giving a workshop, so I know I'm not talking to myself. So good morning, everybody. Let's have a look at some of the comments that I read yesterday. I heard things like, we're separated, but we're in the same house. And some of you have been doing this for more than just a couple of weeks or months. You've been separated for a reasonable period of time, but you're still living in the same house as your ex. Some of you are 20 or 30 or even more years that the relationship was happening. And then literally the person up and left. And they've already moved on. And sometimes they've moved on really quickly with somebody much younger than you. And you are sat wondering, what the hell just happened? Like you're in shell shock, literally going, I didn't know this was coming. Some of you are in again, out again, in again, out again. I kind of know I shouldn't go back. I know it's not good for me. I know my needs are not going to be met. But then you go back to the relationship, hoping that somehow this relationship is going to be different this time around. But what I know about all of you is that all of you are grinding your teeth and white knuckling it, just trying to get through the day. So it doesn't matter why right now you are feeling heartbreak. What matters is you are stuck and you are really, really wanting to move forward, to move out of the pain and suffering. Like I said, some of you are sharing the same house as your ex, and it's really confusing for you. Having a person in that close proximity every single day makes it quite hard to move forward. Some of you are, kind of still feeling friendly. You kind of get along okay, but your ex is saying to you, as much as we're friends, I want to get out of this. I don't want to be here with you. And you keep going back, just hoping that maybe something will change, but it doesn't. A lot of you are telling yourself, I'm just trying to survive this. I'm just trying to get through it. It's so freaking painful. You don't understand, Debbie. It's so painful. I do understand. I've done it myself a couple of times. When we have had decades in a relationship and it suddenly ends, first of all, we feel like, well, what the heck was that about then? All those years together. And we feel completely lost. If any of what I'm saying to you is the story that you are currently walking through, and you are acutely aware that you are in a lot of pain, I want to help you move from being stuck and help you move forward. My membership program, Rewrite Your Relationship Story, is open for a short time right now. And in that program, we help you move. We actually give you guidance on how to move from heartbreak into healing. The bottom line is, if your relationship ended really quickly, it's not like all of a sudden your relationship faded out and you had this gradual move into, we're not really loving each other anymore, we're not connected anymore. It literally was a door was slammed in your face and it was like, it's over. We're married, now we're not. And they're gone. Some of you have told me that they've vanished and didn't even tell you until after they left. Some didn't even speak to you for weeks after they left. So the heartache of that and the not knowing of that is excruciatingly painful. Then some of you said to me, hey, Debbie, here's the bottom line. They left 2 weeks ago and now they're dating somebody who's younger than me. All I see on their feed is smiling photographs of them having the time of their life. He's having a ball, he's moving on, he's happy, and I'm waking up in complete panic and disbelief about what has just happened. Some of you are talking to me about, how people are responding to what's happening in your life, how your friends and family are trying to help, and they're saying to you, well, at least now you can find yourself. But what they don't understand is that you have completely lost yourself, and you lost yourself probably a long time ago. And now, on top of that, you have the grief of a life that is completely vanished. It no longer exists. If any of what I'm saying is about you, I want to say this to you loud and clear, and please hear this. The speed at which your ex-partner moved on says nothing about your value and your worth, but it does say an awful lot about their discomfort in what they chose to do. You are now on a ride, whether you like it or not, you are on a ride. And this ride is from heartbreak to healing. If it was a song, it sounds like it could be funny, but it's not a song, it's your life. And this ride that you're on is completely new to you. It's a massive change for you. There's more uncertainty in this than you have probably ever felt before. And you are quite likely, especially if this was a longer term relationship, to feel completely immobilized by what is going on. I want you to know that it's okay for you to grieve it. To take some time, to be gentle with yourself as you move through all the initial hurt. And one of the ladies who came to the Zoom call had said to me, yeah, Debbie, but I don't know how to be gentle with myself. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to give myself grace. How do I start that when I just feel like all I want to do is collapse in a heap? You have to give yourself some space to just orient yourself to the new normal that is your life. The vast majority of you who have gone through this process are in shock right now. You are grieving, your world is upside down, and you need support. You need a lot of support to help hold space for you and contain you and help you manage to get through the most acute part of this. When you are in uncharted territory, you need a map and a plan, and your brain is too foggy for that. I want you to know that I can help you with your footing. That is what my membership program is all about. It's about giving you small bite-sized pieces every single day for 6 weeks and saying, this is the very next right step for you. This is how you look after yourself. This is how you are gentle with yourself. This is how you grieve and still be able to function. This is how you cope with the anger and the sadness and the frustration. This is how you cope with not being able to actually do anything. I can't work, I can't eat, I can't take care of my kids. Giving you step-to-step guides to actually assist you in getting a strong footing so that you can begin to move forward with some more confidence, where you can cope, where you're not feeling like you are in an absolute storm and that nothing seems to be working for you. So if you are needing assistance, the Rewrite Your Relationship Story membership is open today. And for 49 Australian dollars a month, we are going to help you get your footing and help you move forward. In the chat right now are all the details. If you are watching this on the replay, I will put all the details in the description of this video and in the first comment. If you have questions, please let me know in the comments. I answer them all and I will get back to you on anything that you're wanting to ask me. We start at the end of this week, so there's still time, okay? All right, so what about those of you who are in the limbo of, but they just want to be friends though? You have to continue seeing your ex. You have to co-parent with them. Maybe you are still in the same home as them. You're being polite to each other. You're still sharing space. Maybe they're coming back to the house to see their kids. Maybe they're not quite moved out yet. And every single day you're living with somebody who's already emotionally left the building. They are there in their physical body, but emotionally they're gone, completely gone. And so you get to see them, and that pain of seeing them, knowing that they are moving on, is painful in ways it is so difficult to describe. Being separated under the same roof is a special kind of pain. I want you to know that it's not a neutral feeling. It is a really ongoing emotional assault on you. You know, you stay civil because you're trying to be mature. You stay civil because your children are around. You stay civil because you're both in the same house. But inside your head, you're probably holding your breath. Some of you are hoping that maybe the friendliness that you currently have might mean that they'll come back. You know, maybe you're hoping that maybe this is just a phase and they're going to come out of it. But all that hope that you have about what happens next, that is going to keep you stuck and locked in a fantasy for a long time that is not necessarily going to come to fruition. And then you have to start healing anyway. I want you to take charge of this rather than the comments I'm seeing. Oh, Debbie, I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see if they change their mind. I'm waiting to see what they do next. I'm waiting to see if they want to sort of have a bit of space and then come back to it. You have to decide how you want to move forward. That's empowering. Forget about waiting for them to tell you what's next. You have to decide, what do I need right now to take care of myself? And if you can't or you don't want to do that right now, it's perfectly okay. But I can help you get there. My program will help you get to a space where you go, you know what? I have to start making decisions about my life. Regardless of what they're doing, I've got to choose for my own emotional health and well-being. I can't stay stuck in this loop over and over and over again, wondering what's going to be the very next right thing that happens. Some of you, as I said, have come out of a relationship with a person, you've had the grieving you thought, they've come back, you've stepped back into it, and on you get in the merry-go-round again, over and over and over and over. Why? When say, why do I keep going back? I know that this is not a good idea. I know that my needs are not met. I know that they can't do what I want, but I hope they will. I hope they will. The last time you left, you said, that's it, I am done. I'm not coming back this time. This is the last time. But the loneliness gets really loud and you start to feel worse because you're not with them. And so it's like, yeah, it wasn't great, but, and you get on the pink cloud, you're hoping that maybe this time it'll be different. But it's not different. You are in a space of denial. You're not telling the truth to yourself. You're not being honest with yourself. You're not setting the internal boundaries that you need to set that say, actually, I'm going to honor me. I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to do what's right for me. It takes practice and somebody to guide you back every time you veer off course, going, hang on a second, that isn't what you want for yourself. And taking you back to a space where you are able to go, no, I want to choose something else. Surviving is not the same as healing, ladies. It's not. And we are not supposed to live in a state of survival. That is not good for us. I know that many of you feel like your life is absolutely decimated. But the bottom line is, I promise you there is something better on the other side of this. But you have to get to the other side of this. And that is something you can't do passively. You can't just sit and wait this out. You are going to have to choose how you get from the heartbreak to the healing. And if you're stuck, you probably need help. That's what I do. I help women move from heartbreak to healing every day. That's my job. And so I understand that this is not a passive thing where you can just sit and hopefully at some point it will all be over. When we can't move forward, there is a reason for that. It's not about how smart you are, how strong you are, or even how successful you are in life. People expect grief to be nice and straight and a neat line. I'm heartbroken here. I moved through all of this and then I'm there and now I'm okay. But grief is like a tornado. It spins around on itself. Sometimes it is just crazy making. Then you hit the eye of the storm and it calms down for a bit and you're like, phew, I'm through it, until it starts tossing you around again. One moment things are calm. The next time you're sitting on the kitchen floor sobbing in the fetal position going, I can't keep doing this. Some of you have tried self-soothing and you're like, this will be it. But self-soothing by itself is not enough. Self-soothing is going to buy you some quiet time. Self-soothing is going to give you opportunities to catch your breath, get your head above water. But healing really needs a kind of a structure to it, something with sidelines and guardrails on it to actually help you safely move through the grieving process. Let me know in the comments, have you ever felt like any of the things I'm saying to you? Does healing feel like it is a tornado? Do you feel like there are times when there is calm, but then it lifts you up again and swirls you around and you're like, wow, I thought I was through this, but I'm not. Some of you are stuck in a fantasy of the way it is supposed to be. Some of you are stuck in shock, like real shock, proper shock, where you literally are stunned into, I don't even know what to do next. Some of you are holding on to, maybe you'll work it out. Some of you are stuck in the anger of, well, how the hell did he do this to me? Like, why would he choose this for me and my family? Why would he do this to us? But all of these things that you are in, this shock, this anger, frustration, sadness, collapse, whatever it is you are going through, is going to keep you stuck from actually healing. Healing can be passive, but that's going to take a long time and be painful and you have no control over it. Or healing can be proactive and you can choose to actually do something to help you move forward. The thing about this workshop that I find intriguing is you all went, I want to do something proactive. I want to know how to get from heartbreak to healing. So to me, you are ready to choose what to do next. Some of this is really layered pain. Not only did your partner get up and leave, but you maybe have, your kids have just left home, or they're in the process of leaving home. They're older now. Maybe you are menopausal or perimenopausal on top of this. Maybe you really thought this is the beginning of the next chapter of our lives. This is where things get easier. This is where we start doing all the things that we had said we were going to do when the kids grew up and life got a bit slower and a bit easier. And instead, your whole world has collapsed into a heap. I want you to understand something, ladies, and this is really important. This is why so many people suffer. And I think it's important to understand this, especially in our current culture. We never learned how to feel pain in a safe way. And yet every single one of us will be met with pain in our lives over and over and over again. Most of us were never taught how to be in pain. What we were taught is how to avoid it, how to numb it, how to pretend it wasn't there, how to pretend it wasn't as bad as it was. Give me a heck yes in the comments if you think for 1 second you were never taught how to be in pain in a safe way. That maybe through your lifetime you have only known how to avoid pain, how to numb it, how to pretend it's not quite as bad as you think it feels for you. Most of the women I work with believe that pain is the enemy, that pain is bad and we need to avoid it at all costs, that no matter what happens, if we can just get through this pain and get to the other side, we're going to be fine. I have some bad news for you. Pain is a messenger. It's a messenger that you need to listen to. It's trying to show you what you need to take care of. It's trying to show you that something has to change. Pain has to be felt. Pain has to be walked with and experienced and embraced. And yes, I know some of you do not want to do that at all, but that is how you manage to get through this more quickly with less distress. Our nervous system has to feel safe, really emotionally safe. And we need to be able to allow the pain to come and the pain to go, to not push it away or avoid it, not to try and get through it faster, but actually to sit with it and be able to be with it. In my 6-week program, that is what I teach you. I teach you every day, one step, this thing that you can do to calm down your nervous system, to start to take emotional care of yourself, to start to set boundaries with yourself and with other people. It's the stuff that we don't teach people, but everybody needs to know. Everybody needs to know how to be able to experience pain, allow it to be there, and to let it do its thing and not feel like we're going to collapse from it. And I teach that every single day to women. I teach women how to do it. And yeah, it's not easy, but it's also not that hard when you know what you have to do. Healing isn't about magical moments where you just wake up one day and you go, poof, it's all gone. I feel so much better now. Everything is good again. And I think some of you think that. Some of you think that you'll just wake up and one day it'll all be good. Going through the pain of this is messy, it's repetitive, it's painful, it's sticky like glue, and you can end up feeling like, gosh, why is it like this? Well, because it's supposed to be like this. We cannot heal when, we don't want to sort of feel all the feelings. We know that we're starting to heal when we're not surprised that we're sad. We go, oh, here's the sadness again. Yeah, of course I feel sad. I feel sad because my relationship is over. And you start knowing the sadness, and you start to be able to be with the sadness. You start to be able to manage the sadness and go through the pain of the sadness and know this isn't going to last for me. This will calm. I will have time where I'm feeling really sad like this, and this is going to pass. You're going to come to a point in time where you stop checking their bloody social media feed and hoping and waiting for closure to come galloping along. And you'll get comfortable with the fact that maybe, just maybe, there isn't going to be closure. And you'll start to get peaceful with it. You will stop explaining your pain to other people who do not understand and who think you should be over it by now. You'll stop expecting them to get it, especially if you're in a community of beautiful women who understand what you're going through. That is what my program is all about, being with others who get it. You will start doing the hard things for yourself instead of waiting for somebody else to come and do the work for you. And you'll do the hard things even when nobody is there to witness it, even when nobody is there to cheer you on. You will do the hard work because you'll decide that you deserve it. Healing looks like boundaries. It looks like breathing really deeply. It looks like crying and shouting and yelling. It looks like laughing hysterically for no apparent reason. It's really important to understand that healing is complicated. And in my program, all of that is welcome. People come, they cry, they laugh, they share, they turn up to our calls, our support calls, sitting there going, I'm going to just show up. I'll show up. And I'll just keep showing up until I can do this. And that is really important, showing up for yourself, deciding that you are worth the work, knowing that in showing up, in learning how to set a boundary, how to breathe through the pain, how to notice that the tears are welcome and okay, knowing all of that, and that you can be seen by others and be with your pain and be with your suffering, and understanding that you're going to get where you need to go. I want to share something with all of you that a lot of people don't seem to understand. And that is, self-help doesn't actually work. And there's research to back this up. Why doesn't self-help work? Well, because when we're in deep emotional pain, we can't manage to do this on our own. You know, we can look at books and podcasts, even coming to workshops like this where you're just listening in. I'm giving you insights. Insights are great. Insights are great. Now I know why. Great. But your nervous system is so overwhelmed and your world has collapsed, and information alone is not going to do anything. I've made you aware. Great. Now you have an insight into why you are where you are. But what next? Awareness alone will do nothing for you. In fact, it can be quite frustrating. It can be like, well, I know why I'm sad. I know I'm supposed to be able to sit with the pain. I know that. But I don't feel comfortable sitting with the pain. I don't like where I'm at. This doesn't feel good to me. Self-help doesn't work. And if it did, there wouldn't be anybody like me in the world doing any of the things that I do. Why do people see therapists? Why do people do group coaching? Why do people join memberships like mine? Because we need to have the support, especially in those moments when our world has completely collapsed. When we have knowledge and insight, it can be helpful in knowing it. But what it can also do is make us feel quite alone in what is going on. It can help us to feel more isolated than we did before. I now understand why, but I can't move forward. I'm in quicksand and I cannot lift my foot to move to the next right step. Healing takes more than insight alone. It takes a lot of structure and support and relational repair. And right now, I'm sure you're thinking, yeah, Debbie, you're just saying that because you have a program. No, I'm saying that because I know it's true. I have walked with literally hundreds of thousands of women who are in the same space you are, suffering, in pain, trying to find their footing, to maybe help their children through this process, to work through the legal system as they go through this process, to try and re-establish themselves and to start moving forward. And what I know for absolute sure is it is easier to do that when there is structure, support, and relational repair. When you are in a cohort of women who are where you are at and get it, with professionals who understand the psychological process, how your nervous system responds to things, and actually can go, this is the place to put your next foot, pop it here, and giving you the exact thing to do next. And when you get comfortable there, going, okay, now this is the next step you need to take. And when you get there, going, okay, now this is the next step you need to take. Some of us, in fact, I do not know anybody anywhere who does not need that in those early days of separation. What I do is not a course, it's a process. It's a step-by-step process. We have created a really safe place with practical tools and absolute guidance from professionals who are trained to help you move forward. You don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to keep going around and around in this cyclone or tornado that is happening. And we will walk beside you, along with other women who are also experiencing this. You have survived every single painful experience of your life. I am sure that this one feels really different. And give me a heck yes if it does. Maybe this time it's just a little bit deeper. Maybe this time you feel just a little bit more broken. Maybe it's because you are 50 or 60 years old. And this point is supposed to be different. Where you're supposed to be right now is supposed to be a different place. And it's not. And it's hitting hard because of your hormones, because maybe your kids have grown up, because maybe this was supposed to be the time when life got easier. I want you to understand that you are not broken. A lot of you tell me, Debbie, I feel so broken. I understand that. You're not broken. Your world is shattered. Your world is shattered, but you are still whole. And you are hurting, deeply wounded and deeply hurting. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It means that you are trying to move through what is an absolute psychological assault on your being. And you need to find your footing to begin the process of moving forward. I see women who have been a year in this, some who've been 2 years in this, some who've been 5 years in this, who are still stuck and have not moved one step forward. Please don't be that woman. Don't be that woman. You do not need to suffer for years after your relationship ends. There are things that you can do today that will help you get from here to where you need to be. Being around women who get it and understand it, who are not here to rescue you or save you or tell you that, yeah, it's not your fault and you're the one who's been hurt and you're the one who should feel angry. No, they're going to say, you know what, I get it. This is painful. We are more the same than we are different. This kind of pain, it strips away the armor of our lifetime. And what's left is our shared human experience of love, of grief, of fear, of hope, of something better being possible. And some of you do not believe something better is possible. It is possible. You do not have to do this on your own. You are not the only person who is feeling lost or raw or unsure. I have a group of over 1,000 women, 3,000 women on the email list that signed up for this, who are saying, I feel so isolated. I feel so alone in this. I feel so raw and unsure in this moment. You don't have to figure this out by yourself. I've studied for a long time. I've worked with thousands and thousands and thousands of women up close and personal in my membership, teaching them how to do this in a different way, showing them the pathway forward, helping them as they wobble and fall, picking them up when they have absolutely collapsed and saying, come on, you've got this. Together we can build a sense of what you need to do next. Together we can build a sense of what has happened to you, why it's happened to you, and how you move forward. I am not a rah, 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 let's walk on hot coals kind of person. Anybody who's ever worked with me knows I am pragmatic, I am tenacious, I'm a bit of a bulldog, that I am straight, I am honest, I care deeply, and I want to give you the kind of support that is based in research and data, not bullshit. I want to help you have actual, factually based, scientific based information that is going to help you move from A to B, not something that is flighty and haughty, but something that is pragmatic and sensible and straightforward that you understand. I will translate it for you into actionable steps. I want you to know that you're not broken. Your world is shattered. You are still whole. You are hurting, and I get it. And I want to be able to help you take the next right step. Joining my Rewrite Your Relationship Story membership program is going to be the best gift you have ever given yourself. For 49 Australian dollars a month, you can come into my program and we will give you a daily step to do. You will know what to do next. We will give you guidance and support every step of the way. 49 Australian dollars. Now that is equal to 32 US dollars, 44 Canadian dollars, 54 New Zealand dollars, and 24 British pounds and 28 euros. That's in today's exchange rate. So this may change if you are watching this at a different time. For that, you are going to receive guidance and help, support, a community, and access to me to ask me questions when you need to ask questions. Maybe I give you an activity to do and you're like, Debbie, that's not working for me. Maybe I give you an activity and you're like, I tried it, but it's just, I don't know, something stuck, and I will guide you through that. Myself and Kathy are here to support you. Kathy will help you with calming your nervous system down and giving you really good, strong strategies and showing you how to do them so that you can get clear footing on what is going on. As an additional incentive to you, because I know this process is long-winded, and generally speaking, a month is not enough. You can sign up for my program for 6 months or 12 months. It is an ongoing program. You can sign up monthly and just pay by the month if you'd like to, or if you choose a 6-month or 12-month option, we give you a bigger incentive financially because we know that you are worth that investment, number one, and it reduces the cost for you to make that longer term investment in yourself. If you choose a 6-month option, you pay for 5 months, you get your 6th month for free, and we will give you an additional 10% off of that. Likewise, if you decide that the 12-month option is for you, you sign up for 12 months. You pay for 10, you get 2 months free of charge, and you get a 10% discount. This is an investment in yourself. The world is wobbly and wonky. Having access to trained therapists at your fingertips, we're here on your phone 24/7. And in that community, you have women who get it and understand it. That's, for most of you, less than $1 a day. It certainly is less than £1 a day for a month. And there's not many things that you can buy at that price anymore. I believe that support is priceless. It's what I do for a living. I help people for a living. I don't think there's anything else that you get such value for money for, to be able to gather and regroup yourself, to begin the process of going, okay, what are my next right steps? What is the next part of my life and how am I going to do that? I know in many countries it's quite hard right now to get in to see a therapist. There are shortages of therapists from what has happened in the last few years, and that it's hard to get in to see somebody. It's very expensive to get in to see somebody. My program gives you the opportunity to be with therapists who get to know you and get to know your story and get to know your history and what is going on with you, who are there and available to you to ask questions and help and guide you and give you daily support around what you need to do next. I believe in my program so much that I give a money back guarantee. If you join for a week and you think, yep, this isn't for me, then we will refund you in full, no questions asked, because I know what we offer is so incredibly amazing and that it really does make a difference. If you would like support and help, if you are going through heartbreak and you feel like you cannot move forward and you need some support, then what I recommend is you sign up for my program. It will really help you with the process of being able to be with the pain that you are in, move through the pain that you are in, and move forward. If you've been in a long-term relationship for the last decade or more, then you are going to need support. Some of you have been with your ex-partners your whole entire adult life. This shift is like a seismic shift that has just literally ripped the world into two parts. You are going to need support. I hope that you value yourself enough to do that. And if not with me, with somebody else, I encourage you, if you don't think that, oh, yeah, Debbie, this is where it's at for me, or maybe a group program isn't what I want, then I really encourage you to keep looking for somebody who can support you. Self-help doesn't work, unfortunately. Get some help, get some support. That is going to be what you need, and you will be then able to move forward. All right, let me see what's going on in the chat. I haven't looked at the chat, I'm sorry, but I'll answer questions there if anybody wants to ask me anything. Carol, hello, darling. I signed up with Debbie and Carol last July. I was literally on my knees, heartbroken, thought nobody knew pain like mine until I came here and met women going through the very same shit. Yes, and I think that's the other thing, the isolation can feel really big, as Carol points out. And, when you are literally on your knees and you really do feel like you are broken from the heartache, having other people around you who kind of get what you're going through, that can be just like a breath of fresh air. It can help you feel like, oh my God, I'm going to be able to get to the other side of it somehow, especially when some of those women are a bit further along their journey than you. They may have been working on it for the last 3 or 6 or 12 months. And so they can really infuse some hope into the experience you're having. Oh, bless. Debbie and Kathy lifted me off my knees with their love and their exercises. The women are supportive. There's no judgment, only love. I've slipped a couple of times, but these guys are always here. And I think that's the other thing, that it is understandable that there will be slip-ups or times when you feel like you're back in a different time and place, and you'll be like, gosh, I thought I'd dealt with this. I really thought I was in a better place. I really thought I was in a much happier place. And then something will come up, maybe an anniversary comes up, or a Christmas comes up, or a special event comes up, and you feel you're back in it again. Ladies, I'm going to finish up. If anybody wants to ask me any questions, go right ahead and do it right now. If not, I will be sending this out via email and putting it in the Facebook group. If you are watching this on the replay and you have questions for me, pop them into the comments or reach out to me via the Facebook group. But please do get in touch. This program is only open for a couple of days. You can only join for a couple of days. We are looking at what we're going to be doing in the future. But at this stage, this will close in a couple of days. And then we're going to be working with the new women who've come on board and helping those women step by step really, really lean into what they need to do to heal from what's going on. What you get in the program, we teach you what to do on a regular basis. So we're teaching you how do you start to move forward. We're also going to be there with supportive Zoom calls to actually answer all of your questions. And of course, there is a community who will wrap their loving arms around you and help you while you work through this process. So my darlings, if you are interested in joining my Rewrite Your Relationship Story membership, if you are interested in getting support moving forward, then I encourage you very much to come and join us. And thank you so much for spending time with us in the workshop. We've spent a week and a little bit together, really looking at what is going on. I hope you are in a different place now. Please let me know how you are doing after watching these videos. They are all going to be in my free Heartbreak to Healing Start Here playlist on YouTube. So make sure you go to the playlist. I'll put it at the top there for you. You can click on that and have access to all of the videos in this series. I'll also put things on the screen. I don't know where YouTube puts them, but there are things on the screen that you can click where you can get to the playlist and watch all of the videos in this workshop series. Thank you so much for coming and spending time with me. Thank you so much for trusting me for a week to try and help you move forward. And for those of you who have decided to keep moving forward with me, I'll put all the links to the program in the description of this video and in the first comment of this video. You can go there and sign up. Again, if you have any questions whatsoever about how the program works, please do reach out. I'll be more than happy to walk through it with you. All right, my darling, take the very best care of yourself. You're absolutely gorgeous. And I look forward to meeting you and seeing you in my program in the coming days. Take care, everyone. Bye.